Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games is maybe one of my favorite spin-off series of all time. Games with the banger intros. Yeah, if you think of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, you might immediately think of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2010 Vancouver. Because of the festival game mode you could do, or just for the nostalgia. Or you think about Rio 2016, because of the amount of characters the game actually had, and how fat Toad was. All in all, there are quite a few banger games in the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games series, each with its own style and qualities. So I thought to find out which one I personally like the most, I'm going to rank all Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Before I start though, this is my personal opinion. If you think Tokyo 2020 arcade version is the best, then I have news for you, because it is at the very bottom. But even if your favorite is Tokyo 2020 arcade, which I doubt, don't feel offended if I say negative things about it. It is only my opinion and not a fact, so yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Well, now that we've had the disclaimer, we can start with the actual video. There are a total of 10 main Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, and 2 types of side games. You have Beijing 2008 on the DS and the Wii. Then 2 years later came Vancouver 2010, with another 2-year difference. London 2012 was released for the Wii and the 3DS. And back to the winter games, we got Sochi 2014 for just the Wii U and no longer for the DS or the 3DS. 2 years later, Rio 2016 came out. What is remarkable about this release in particular is that it only not came out on the Wii U but also for the 3DS. We didn't get any winter games in 2018 and same for 2022, but we did get Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 for the Nintendo Switch. We also have 2 arcade versions of Rio 2016 and Tokyo 2020 that I would like to mention, but do not necessarily want to count in the ranking itself, because a little bit unfair, but I'm going to put them in my ranking, but they are going to be at the bottom of the list. Starting with my pick for the worst Mario and Sonic game. Number 12, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 Arcade. This is not as much as a surprise. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 Arcade contains 12 events, including 3 from previous installments from the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games series, 5 brand new from the normal version of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, and 4 retro events. In my opinion, the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 Arcade falls behind that of Rio 2016. There are also only 12 characters to choose from. The events seem to feel very uncomfortable, especially the super new ones, because how do you want to play rugby within this cabinet? At number 11, we have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2016 Rio arcade version. I know, surprise, surprise, both arcade versions dead last. I think 2016 Rio Arcade Edition is better than the 2020 version, for several reasons. At first it seems less awkward, and in my opinion they have a better list of events than the 2020 arcade version. Also, instead of 12 characters, there are 20 characters, and even guest characters such as Nabbit and Toad. Although these are of course all positive aspects of this arcade version, the game is still worse than a base game, maybe for the better so, because how sad would it be that an arcade edition is higher than a base game? Well, I can tell you that almost happened. Now that we are finally done with the arcade versions of Rio and Tokyo, we can really start. To start off the top 10, we have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Sochi 2014. Although Sochi 2014 was the first game in the series with online multiplayer, I'm sorry for you Sochi enjoyers out there, I don't know if you guys exist. First, the controls. The controls were dead terrible, and there isn't really anything that makes Sochi unique from the rest. Also, I think players and fans of the series think that Sochi is their last pick, because Vancouver 2010 and London 2012 are seen as the peak moments of the series. I think they feel that this is just a drastic downgrade from its predecessors, and that puts it at number 10. And yeah, also for me, I didn't really like this game, and yeah, I think I have 2 hours in it or something. At number 9, we have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Rio 2016 for the 3DS. This game is truly the definition of dust. This game is honestly collecting all the dust in my house and will probably have a bingo with it. I haven't played this game for so long. I think the 3DS version is worse than the Wii U version because of several things. Number 1, what the fuck is this? Yahoo! And number 2, what the fuck is that? And number 3, the control. I think it is just me, but my hands were also just way too big for a normal 3DS. My hands are still sour from no living Animal Crossing New Leaf, but I also find the game simply forgettable, and I can no longer remember my first memories of this game at all. At the very least, the box art is a banger. Okay, this one might be a little controversial, but at number 8, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Rio 2016 for the Wii U. What was good about Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Rio 2016 on the Wii U was the variety of characters. Heck, in this game you could play as Wave and even Sticks. However, it was only for one event, of course, but I still think this is a somewhat weaker entry in the franchise, purely because of the less sparkle effect. In my opinion, there is not really anything that makes this game unique compared to the other entries in the franchise, except for the characters. It's not a bad game, but it's not exactly fun either, and yeah, forgettable. Number 7, we have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Beijing 2008 for the Wii. I need to defend myself. I can only base this game on my past experiences because I don't actually have this game. This is the only game that I miss in my Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games collection. But I used to play this game at a friend's house and really enjoyed it. However, I do know one thing. The DS version is superior. Although the DS version is superior in my opinion, that doesn't mean this is a bad game. Far from it actually. The charms that this game has and just the overall vibe. Even though there were fewer events than the following entries, the game retains its honor through the charming gameplay, vibe and different modes that let you play the game long, such as Circuit and complete the entire gallery. Because I was obsessed with that freaking gallery. Even though there were only 4 dream events in this game, they were some of the best in the entire series. So, applause for this game. At number 6, we have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, London 2012 for the 3DS. This is perhaps the most underrated Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games of the franchise. However, I had to replay it again to realize that. Because the only thing I could remember about this game was the story, and the story, yeah, I didn't remember that much, but the story is okay. I think London 2012 was one of the best years for the franchise on Wii and 3DS. I love the UI and the use of color and the overall aestheticness, and think that this game is really one of the best in terms of aesthetics and use of color. Because, oh my god. At number 5, we have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2008 on the DS. This game screams nostalgia. And when I say scream, it screams nostalgia. I also had to replay this game to bring back all the memories and holy shit. Even though there was less content than in the other, it was still the vibe and the nostalgia that makes this game so great. I played some missions again and many missions were either still quite difficult or were very specific, which made the game fun and not really linear. I also enjoy events involving the use of the stylus, such as trampoline jumping, but my hands always hurt after playing this goated masterpiece. Now, for number 4, we have the most recent entry in the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games series. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Tokyo 2020. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or that it's general that people like this, but I really think this game is a banger. What makes this entry particularly unique is, of course, the story mode, but also the 2D aspect of the game, with 21 mainline events and a lot of variation. There are returning events such as the iconic 100 meters, but also new events such as climbing. All in all, I thought this was a pretty fun game with one of the better storylines in the entire franchise. Even though there weren't very many storylines in the franchise, but you get my point. Now, before I begin with the top 3, I think everyone could expect Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2010 for the DS and Wii, and Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2012 for Wii to be in the top 3. All 3 are such masterpieces, and each of these 3 has the potential for the number 1 spot. But in terms of personal preferences, number 3 we have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Vancouver 2010 on the Wii. This game always hits me in the feels, from the festival game mode to the events and even the shopping area with the nostalgic music. This game is so top tier. I remember playing that festival game mode till death back in the day, and it was really the best thing ever. Also, the dream events in this entry were so good. At number 2 we have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Vancouver 2010 for the Nintendo DS. I know that many people like the Wii version better than the DS version, but hear me out. This story mode was really not normal. Now I have to admit that this looks a bit goofy, but the worlds, the stars you had to collect, the mini games, all the characters, the events, it was so good and it was so much fun. This story mode is just so much fun to play, and this music, truly the definition of perfection. And I think Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Vancouver 2010 is overall the strongest when it comes to the Wii and DS versions together. But now, for number 1, we have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games London 2012 for the Wii. I think this is not much of a surprise. What a banger of a game this was. So you had the events themselves with all kinds of fun dream events. You also have London Party, where at the bottom I'm at around 300 or something. I played it so much. And then you had the little scratch cards. No, but no joke, even the scratching was really fun. You could also keep track of your statistics so well and easily in this game. And I remember when I really had such a high number with Tails. All in all, this is my favorite entry of the entire franchise. Of course, everyone has their own opinion, so let me know in the comment section. But this was the end of the video. Sorry for the lack of uploads. I would really like to create some more rhythm in my upload schedule, but my life is a hot mess right now. I try to continue making videos, and luckily I have finally succeeded again after about 3 months. Anyways, I hope you still enjoyed the video and hope to see you